I've got a drinking game. Pick up the glass, drink the drink. Not shoot a ping pong ball off the wall, bounce it off a table, then bounce it off of somebody's head, and then land it in a cup, and only then are you allowed to have a drink. That's not a drinking game. That's stopping your drinking. You mad bastards. Hello everybody, and welcome to... What is this again? Francesco, where am I?
What?
You're not much use. Podcast, that's where I am.
Podcast? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
You're as lost as me.
I don't know what you're saying. Because you just started like a train and then you stopped all of a sudden.
Yeah, because my brain died.
It's barely 4 p.m. his time and he's already drunk.
Weirdly enough,
Oh.
I have. I've been drinking.
Oh my god. Oh, Jack Daniels cola.
But I just needed something that I could quickly pick up at the shop.
Mm.
That's the only reason.
But
Later on,
does it taste? Does it taste
alright.
like Jack Daniels?
Yeah,
Does it
tastes
taste
alright.
like Jack Daniels?
Later on, I will be drinking this. I have that
Mm.
to finish. So now I've done some advertising for alcohol. Welcome to the podcast, all. The Alcoholic Podcast. Only Alessia's not an alcoholic. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
He's clean. He's the good guy.
Shame.
I cannot.
He's the clean guy.
I cannot review any alcohol stuff. Sorry. That's
that's a shame. So let's start with the news story for today. Well, today is in Sunday. It won't be today when this is talked about. This will go up in a few days. Epic have announced that they will be donating proceeds to... They don't say to Ukraine, they say to the victims of the Ukraine war, crisis, something or other, conflict.
They have mentioned 4 major agencies like UNICEF, also the World Food Program at the United Nations Refugee Agency, and another one called Direct Relief. But,
so it's not one of those Roman Abramovich where he just says, victims of the Ukraine conflict, which probably meant he was going to, if he managed to sell Chelsea, he would have donated it all to the Russian government to fund, to help with the sanctions. Silly.
Yeah, it is. For 2 weeks they're donating all of their proceeds, and interestingly, Microsoft is also participating. Basically, they are also giving their cut of all of the Fortnite proceeds on the of the Fortnite proceeds on the Xbox Store.
Are Sony and Nintendo not doing the same?
Well, Epic only mentioned Microsoft, so it would seem that way.
Yeah, that likely means that Sony and Nintendo have decided not to opt in.
Yeah.
I haven't even drunk.
Well, maybe they will announce something tomorrow because they're Japanese. So they do things
that's fair.
in their own way.
To be fair, it's unusual for anything to get announced on a Sunday anyway, because it's a weekend. So I know that because I was talking to one of the PR people. I'm like, "What are you doing working on Sunday?" And so that's what happened. It's a good move. Like we've spoke about so much. Well, we spoke about it all week last week. Anything helps. These companies could do more. Of course, they could do more. Epic Games certainly could do more, but I'm not. I can't knock any company. If you're doing good, then I'm certainly not going to knock you for doing good. You should be applauded for any good you do, but certainly when you do bad, get slammed for that too. So good.
Yeah, like you said, it's a really huge humanitarian crisis, and it needs all the financial help it can get. So it would be really great if any major publisher and platform holder does something of the sort. It would really be a show of support from the whole industry. Let's see. Maybe others will join in at a later time.
One can hope. Though, one amusing thing is, I say it should probably have been mentioned. We should have decided this will be on the topic. Is how Valve now, well, essentially they're struggling or they're not paying properly, or developers are having to faff around when it comes to banks if they're rushing on. Strangely, Ukrainian developers are getting caught up in this mess too. But
that's weird.
Yeah, I find that weird. I understood about Russian and Belarusian developers. I mean, I don't know of any Belarusian developers, but there are quite a few Russian developers out there, and same as I said last week, every company who was saying, "Well, we're not going to do this in Russia now," they were just getting a bit of a PR boost before the sanctions. Valve waited, and now they're getting hit by the sanctions. Well, they can't transfer the money, with blah blah, all that malarkey. The sanctions are doing something, which then now means that Valve can't go, oh shit, we should have done the PR thing. But like Valve is always, they only release a game once every 500 years, so they're that late in PR too.
They're not the best at PR, perhaps, or marketing.
So, I'd just like to say that, same as always, I called it. I like when I call things. I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right, somehow.
I mean, the last statement explains it all. So
yeah, it's easy to be always right when you're also wrong.
If you are right when you're wrong.
The difference is that I'm never wrong.
Yeah.
Because I don't say something unless I know it's happening.
From now on, I'll be very careful about what you say, because I'm going to find the time that you're wrong, and it will be impossible to say that you were right. Yeah, just for fun, just for fun.
I like that challenge.
Just for fun. It's easy to be always right when most people on the earth are scumbags, and you always think the worst of them. It's easy that way.
It does help that I just assume the worst in everything, because that's usually how the games industry works.
Yeah.
Imagine the worst possible thing, and that's what the games industry will do. Yeah. Or some of the games industry.
Yeah, well, at the very least, they may do something worse than that. But then again, you will be right. You will still be right, because. So yeah, it's easy to be always right.
Yeah, it's just like claiming I live in the UK, so it's me like just saying, well, it's going to rain next week. I'm always going to be right.
Yeah.
On the one rare occasion that I'm not right, I'll go, well, yeah, fair enough, I was wrong. It didn't rain this week, but are you sad about that? Oh dear. I can't remember what we were going to talk about after Ukraine.
Game reveals. I mean, unless
or maybe you want to rant.
Yeah, maybe you want.
No, game reveals, because I don't know. I am so out of the loop with it when the news. I know that Hermione Granger's Hogwarts Legacy has been revealed. Yeah. Words.
Yeah. Francesco, do you want to take this?
We haven't seen. They just announced Hogwarts Legacy. We were hearing all those rumors that they were having issues with development. So I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. And besides, I can't remember a decent Harry Potter game. I don't know, really. I have to say they're doing things right.
I played some of the older Harry Potter games. They weren't bad. They were decent.
Yeah, but it just stops at being decent.
Yeah, they were never amazing. It wasn't like the Lord of the Rings games by EA. They were decent. Well, the ones named after the movies.
For a lot of these franchises, you have a standout game. like for Star Wars, we can talk about Star Wars Battlefront or even Jedi Fallen Order, or for the Lord of the Rings, there were those action games released on PlayStation 2 that were very, very good. But for Harry Potter, there wasn't a really standout game. You know, you had a lot of, yeah, this is fun,
Well,
but
you're
not
immediately wrong
beyond.
there. The standout games for Lord of the Rings were Battle for Middle Earth.
Sorry,
Yeah,
there were
I was.
those two. No, there were those two PlayStation 2 games that were great. They played like Devil May Cry,
Which
and
ones
they
were
played
those?
great. I don't remember. I don't remember who developed them, but I they made two games. One for the Two Towers, and then one for you know, they were divided like the movies, and they played great.
Oh, was it? So it was. Yeah, I think those were the EA ones they were talking about, where you.
Yeah, I don't remember who developed them though.
I think it was. I don't know the developer, but EA definitely published them. I
And
think
they
EA
were
developed them in house as well. They were decent games. Yeah, they
and
were
they
one
were
of the
good
few rare
games.
movie tie-in games that were good.
Mm, yeah.
And of
Oh
So
course,
yeah,
Battle for Middle Earth.
yeah,
they
yeah, you
were.
know, it's a strategy game. I don't really play strategy game. I'm sure it's good. It's at least decent.
No, but
So
yeah, he's right. The strategy games were also very good.
mm, yeah.
But
And so, by the way, we were talking about Hogwarts Legacy. We kind of just derailed the whole thing, and it looks very good. I think what impressed me the most is the attention to detail they've shown. Like it almost feels like it feels like the people working on this are actual Harry Potter fans. It's not like they're just going to a checklist of things. We have to get this. You can tell that there is a lot of love behind this project. It looks good. My only question is if it's going to end up the usual open world Ubisoft style open world that's what it looks like. You know, Elden Ring has ruined everything for me when it comes to open world games because you know with Elden Ring you're way more free and you're not following map markers all over. So it will be interesting to see if Hogwarts Legacy is not as heavy-handed as Ubisoft open world games are. Because that's
uh,
what it looks like from this. This is what it looks like. It looked like from the trailer. Because so many
I-
gameplay systems. Oh, we'll see.
yeah, I think. Well, certainly when compared to Elden Ring, it will be, more directed, so to speak. So yeah,
Yeah.
that for sure. But otherwise, I agree totally. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but
I like Harry Potter.
I have seen the Fantastic Beasts movies and like them enough. But yeah, I have to say that it looks really good. I mean, it looks like kind of the Witcher 3 version of Harry Potter,
Well, I'm thinking now
and
that I'm going to bag the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy because I've read all the Harry Potter books, seen all the Harry Potter films, and I don't know, fancy Emma Watson.
oh, I mean, it's yeah, I do like it, but um, no, it looks good. I mean, even the combat, all of the magic, and it also looks like there's a ton of things to do and to uncover. So it's not just a castle, you know. There are many, areas to explore. There are side quests, and also you can brew potions. You can uncover even like forbidden spells. Supposedly, you can use them. You can well, of course, you have companions. You have your house, of course, which is something that Harry Potter fans are excited about because they can choose their house.
Slytherin.
You you can fly with the broom. Well, one thing that appears to be missing is Quidditch, though. But yeah,
I'm
Mm.
sure they'll have to put something in about it.
DLC,
You can't have Harry Potter
DLC.
without Quidditch. I don't
It's
even
going
think it'll
to
be
be
DLC. I think it'll be some
DLC.
shitty little minigame. I genuinely do. I think it'll be like they'll put it'll be like a minigame that ends up being really good. And well, I hope it's like this. Do you remember Blitzball? Blitzball in Final Fantasy X.
Yeah,
What's
Blitzball.
it? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Blitzball. I knew it was Blitz
Yeah,
something.
Blitzball.
I played the
Yeah,
living hell
Blitzball.
out of that.
I did that too. In the beginning, I thought it sucked, but then again, I understood how it was played, and it wasn't that bad.
I think it was great. I'd have bought a solo Blitzball game.
Yeah, too bad I never did that. Yeah.
But so yeah, so I imagine they'll have to release some sort of like they'll have to do a mini game similar to that or something. You know what I mean? They can't not have Quidditch in Harry Potter.
Mm.
They can't.
Yeah, that's true. Although I mean, Quidditch would really lend itself to more of a PvP game. I mean, that could be great. Imagine playing PvP.
Some company,
And
well, an indie developer did try to release that Broomstick League. I don't think it ever took off
Mm.
really.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, of course, you have to nail the gameplay first,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that thing. But no, it looks great, and many people are saying this looks like it could be one of the best years ever for open world games because we've had, already, Elden Ring. We've had Horizon Forbidden West. Even the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla expansion was pretty good, which Francesco released.
Yeah.
There is Helix 2 if you want Hero Jank.
I like Helix
Um,
too. See, nobody else wanted to
and,
play it, but I did, and I enjoyed it enough.
and also Hogwarts Legacy, and also Starfield, and also
Mm.
potentially Breath of the Wild 2. So it could be
Mm.
possibly the best year ever for open world games. We'll see.
Bagsy Hogwarts Legacy.
Huh? Sorry?
I just said Bagsy Hogwarts Legacy. And none of
Ah,
you are big Harry Potter fans. I am.
Not very big. I wanted to read the books, but I just watched the movies. I don't. I have too many things to read. Yeah, I have too many things to do in general.
So yeah, no. Were any other games revealed? Because I did not. I've not looked at anything. I'm too busy.
uh, well, the new Supermassive game. You have seen that one,
Have I?
The Quarry. Yeah, the horror game from Supermassive Games.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking of Supergiant then, the ones who did Bastion. Bags of
Um,
the Quarry. All my
Bugs,
games.
yeah.
Well, no. To be fair, I've reviewed like the last 3 Supermassive games, and they are sort of like my jam. I do like my horror games. It's just the Supermassive games. It's gonna be interesting. I understand. Obviously, it's not a Dark Pictures game, but this is probably going to be more like your Until Dawn on a bigger budget. I imagine they've actually been developing this alongside the last probably 2 Dark Pictures games.
Yeah, and it's also coming very soon, this June. So it's just a couple of months away.
Yay! I get a horror game in June.
It looks like, well, from what they've said, it's basically a spiritual successor to Until Dawn, so which I really liked. So
No,
hopefully it
you
will be
don't get
good.
to like it. It's for me. Bad Alessio. Don't
Okay.
make me hit you with the newspaper.
While we're talking about game reveals, there was another one that happened this week, and it was kind of unexpected. Well, we knew about the project for many years. It was called Project T&L at NCSoft. It was supposed to be basically the next Lineage or Lineage 3,
Yeah.
but eventually it became its own IP, and they have unveiled it this week. with the first gameplay trailer, and I have to say it looks really good.
Yeah, that's for you to preview and review. You like your MMOs.
Yeah, it's also coming this year to PC and consoles, and that includes Western countries as well. And it does seem to have lots of interesting stuff. For example, they've said that um, like when you use arrows, the direction of the wind or the rain may even influence your shots. Or let's say you have lightning magic, you may have a skill that is a single target skill, but when it rains, due to water, it becomes a wide area skill because it goes uh, area it becomes an area of effect skill. Those all of these interesting things, like they've even said the player can cause a solar eclipse or a rainstorm under certain circumstances. They can, for example, monsters will migrate apparently, so you won't find them always in the same spot. All sorts of dynamic things that could do a lot to shake up the regular, MMO field play.
Sounds like they're essentially trying to make a living world. Then
Yeah, basically.
could be good.
And something interesting compared to the usual Korean games is that they've said openly that while the game will have PvP, like sieges and stuff, this time they also recognize there's a lot of more people who want to do PvE, basically. So they created a lot of challenging content where people, like raids, where people have to coordinate to like understand the boss's skill set, to work together in order to defeat the boss.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's something that is very interesting because usually that's where most Korean MMOs fall flat for Western players. For example, Black Desert Online doesn't really have a decent PvE endgame. So we'll see. It's interesting for MMO players to finally have something to look forward about.
Yeah. Sounds all right. I don't know of any games that were released. I genuinely don't. I've not seen. I've avoided. I've been too busy to look at news. The last news I read were, I think, Fantasy World Dizzy was released. No. Oh
Well,
God, that
it's
fell
time
flat.
for your round.
Yeah,
I
I've been
still.
waiting for this. I've been waiting for this.
Oh God, yeah, we get to talk about. Uh, I'll let you run out the news then, Alessio, and then I'll talk. Go on.
Well, the news is quite brief. I mean, Gran Turismo 7, first of all, it was down for almost a day because it's an always online game and servers were unavailable. And of course, that means even, campaign races weren't available during this time. Well, of course, that's now resolved. But, when it went back live, Polyphony pushed out a new patch. And this patch actually made the game even grindier than it was before. So basically, they have reduced the race rewards for some races that were being farmed, to accrue credits to buy cars. And of course, this was not taken well by the community because of the microtransactions, especially. So it seemed like they were pushing players to use microtransactions to buy cars.
I know what they've done. They always say that Gran Turismo is the real driving simulator. Do you buy cars by grinding things?
Well, I suppose technically yes, you do. You have to grind work to be
by
able to.
work.
Yes.
Yeah,
You do.
true. So they're actually making the true experience. You want to buy a
Well,
fancy car,
no,
you have
because
to work for it.
most people don't work by racing shit cars around the same tracks that people race good cars. So if they wanted the true driving simulator, like makes to just have a big message on the screen between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., which says, "Stop playing this game, you silly bastard, and work for a living." But no, they don't. Instead, they've just and I don't think this is a Sony mandated thing. And the reason for that is because all other Sony games, even, they've announced that they want to go for more live service, but this has been in development for, Rome was being built when this started development. So Julius Caesar was just getting stabbed in the back when they just did the first car. So this isn't because of Sony's push for live service. This is some absolute fuckwit at Polyphony Digital thinking, well, we like driving cars a lot in our game, so I know, let's make everybody drive all the shit cars forever. And then when they get the good cars, they don't want to play our game anymore. Or we'll just let them skip the grind. But then, no, they already let you skip the grind by buying credits, but then they've took away the way to... They've made the grind even worse. What the... Oh,
I mean,
why? What is with developers? Why do they monumentally fuck everything up? Do they not understand that games are meant to be fun? And Gran Turismo is a fun enough game to race around in. The racing's good. I reviewed it as that. I did dock it a point once once I saw the price of the microtransactions. I could have lived with spending 50p on 100,000 credits. That's like, essentially what you'd do in a mobile game. That sort of microtransaction. But they don't do that, do they? Microtransactions are no longer microtransactions, they're macrotransactions. Because you're paying now for credits what you would pay in the past for a full fucking expansion pack. I remember buying Special Forces for Battlefield 2. And that was cheaper than most microtransactions in games nowadays.
Yeah,
You've got a full fucking expansion for less than half the game now that charges you for a costume.
Yeah, the problem is that these things are put in full price games. That's even worse. You're basically paying for the privilege of spending more money to unlock more stuff.
I mean, you're better off just buying the car in real life at this point.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
I just
but
don't get it. I just
seriously,
really don't get it. I don't think it's a Sony mandated thing because the one thing Sony's always had above Microsoft is their first party games were as a rule of thumb, if Microsoft and Sony had a first party game in the same genre, Sony's would be better. And now, well, Microsoft's got a better racing. It's an arcade racer, but Forza Horizon's far better than Gran Turismo because it doesn't charge you your fucking lung just to race a decent car. Why? What is?
I mean,
it was already too grindy. Every single fucking time, you had to do 3 whatever races or visit whatever. See too many lines of text to go to the cafe, get a new fucking menu. Oh, collect these 3 cars. How do I collect these 3 cars? Do 3 races in your shit car. Okay. And after I've got these 3 shit cars, can I get a good car? No. Okay. Why? What? And it could be a great game. It could be amazing. But no.
I can tell you what Yamauchi-san wrote on the website. which is that basically the motivation behind this is that they don't want players to be racing the same races all over again. That was what happened before this patch.
Well,
So
okay then.
since
Increase the fucking credits of the other racers.
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Jesus.
it
The only
probably came
excuse he
from
could have gave, the only thing he should have wrote on the fucking website is, sorry, I had a stroke and made a bad decision. That's the only valid reason. And then I
the
would
real
be
reason.
asking that.
The real reason.
My only response to that would be, well, fair enough, you had a stroke. I hope you're okay now. But why the fuck did the other developers not go? This fucker's making a bad decision. Fuck me, Richard.
The real reason is that he would just wanted to say, I want to drive fancy cars in real life, so you have to buy them for me with your microtransactions. Because
Yeah.
I think he really races cars. Like, so
Fair,
it's probably that. So
you can
you have to buy
genuinely
my
tell.
car.
You can genuinely tell that the people who make Gran Turismo love cars. The amount of detail blows, and the regular Forza series blows every other game out of the water. Even Codemasters, which are another pure racing studio, and you can tell they love their racing, and I've spoke to quite a few of them. They love their they love their cars too, but the love that's in Polyphony Digital for cars is weirdly sexual. I do wonder what they do to their cars on a night, but we'll leave that alone. But the fact that they've gatekeeped so much, they've made their car game, which is all about the love of cars, not fun and not able to let people love the cars as much as them, is perplexing. That would be like me, me and my. I like alcohol, so that would be like me saying, here's a game all about alcohol. But before you do anything and before you can get any alcohol, a drinking game, it makes me think of Americans. And sorry to all, in fact, I'm not sorry to all Americans because I've met enough of you and you do weird things. You play drinking games where you have to do a challenge to have a drink. Why would you do that? I've got a drinking game. Pick up the glass, drink the drink. Not shoot a ping pong ball off the wall, bounce it off a table, then bounce it off of somebody's head, and then land it in a cup, and only then are you allowed to have a drink. That's not a drinking game. That's stopping you drinking. You mad bastards. I need a drink.
Yeah, well, oh yeah. Why would anyone buy? By the way, why would anyone develop a alcohol video game?
Hey, don't you question that?
Yeah, why? VR isn't that. It's not.
No, but alcohol based like bar tycoon or something. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, but you still
Pub
don't
tycoon.
drink.
Oh no, but at the start of the game it says we recommend you have a beverage while playing this game.
Yeah, but they're not. But yeah, but okay, but it's not like the developer is. If the developer were to buy me alcohol for play the game, it's fine.
That's
It
why I
would be
go to
fine.
Gamescom.
Yeah. They buy you out. Yeah, right, too. Yeah, they do. No, yeah, I'm thinking about that year that we went together. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I do need to. I think I might have to go again this year. Been a while. Right. Anyway, so Gran Turismo, monumental fuck up. They're gonna. I don't know. I don't think people are going to be. The other Gran Turismo games have had a long fan base, people playing them for a long time after release. I can't see that happening with Gran Turismo 5. Not in its current state.
Gran Turismo 5 for sure.
6,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know what game it is. It's the one with grind and shit.
The latest, so that you don't have to say the number.
Yeah, I say whichever one
The
it is, the
latest.
one with grind and shit, the one with a shit soundtrack as well.
Mm.
Well, what sort of car racing game doesn't have good rock music in? The whole point, it's called driving rock. It's not driving fucking hip hop, not driving space music,
Ugh.
not driving fucking E.T. comes home dancing fucking jukebox shite. It's rock. Fuck me, Richard. What's wrong with this world? Why has everybody got shit taste in music nowadays?
I agree. Well, it's not just nowadays. I can think 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it was the same.
Yeah.
It's just gotten worse. And it was already a thing.
Okay.
There's
I
no hope
think,
for this world.
Chris, do you feel better now that
No.
you've ranted? No?
No, I feel worse. It's
I
brought
thought
more things up. It's brought more
I,
things up. I'm gonna cry.
I thought it was some sort of catharsis for you.
There usually is. There usually is some sort of catharsis, but not when worse things come to the fore. It's like I've just sort of dug a deep hole into the shit. Oh, look, I can rant about this shit. Oh shit. Oh, there's more shit. No.
It may get worse.
Don't say that. I do not
Yeah,
want
well.
to kill myself. Not yet.
Well, no, we should ask Polyphony not to do it worse because we don't want Chris to kill himself.
Anyway,
We have to speak with Yamauchi. Please stop.
if I speak to him, I'm just going to rant at him.
He will be thanking you for the rant, and then from your back you still pay me money. Well, not in your case, but people who bought the game. But you rant, but you still bought my game, so
I didn't buy it. I got given a copy.
Yeah, you know.
Fuck
I
you,
was talking
Yamauchi.
about.
You didn't get my money.
I was talking about the regular player who waited for I don't remember how many years.
500?
To buy
1,000?
Yeah, I don't remember.
1,500? I don't know.
I don't know.
When was Julius Caesar assassinated?
Yeah, well, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
More than 2,000 years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, last topic. Talk about something positive.
From Japan to Japan.
Yeah.
But Japan with an American name in it.
Yeah.
It's because they love their foreign names. Well, besides, how many people can pronounce Japanese correctly outside Japan?
I don't think it's that. I just think they use the foreign name because it's a big foreign name. I mean, I don't know how. I really doubt that George R.R. Martin had a lot to do with it, but it sold 12. What is it? 12 million copies sold of Elden Ring.
Yeah, a lot of them. By the way, I think that George Martin had quite a bit to do, at least in the lore, of course, because I can just I've read these books so many times. I don't even remember how many times.
Well, I haven't played a lot of Elden Ring yet. I bought it. I did actually buy a game. I bought it and played about an hour. And I haven't seen a single pair of breasts, so I don't really know if George R.R. Martin's had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, well, those are not in, but the whole mythology is around the tree. I think that's very George R.R. Martin. If you know the Song of Ice and Fire, you can tell that there is a lot of him. Yeah, there's no incest, there's not that weird stuff, but I don't think that would have made much sense.
It's George R.R. Martin. Nothing makes sense. I've watched all of Game of Thrones and I've read.
No, you don't have to watch. You have to read. Don't watch that.
I know. I've got the books as well. I've read bits of it, and I still don't understand what the Ice Walkers are.
Well, I mean, it's because the explanation they didn't give. I don't want to rant, so I'm not going to stop.
I mean, they are ice zombies, Chris. It's not like
they are just zombies. So my initial thing where I said these are just zombies but cold.
Yeah,
they're basically a weapon against humans. That's what they basically are. At least in the show. I don't think it's going to be in the books, but it doesn't matter because we're never going to read those books because he's never going to finish them.
Oh, but
Problem,
seriously,
problem
one
solved.
of my questions is, I've also played a little of the game, so I cannot speak to that. But uh, could you really see Martin's hand, beyond the tree, but in the characters, or
You know, I can really say what I mean. I really can't say this is him, this is him, but it's more like a feel. You know, I love the lore of Dark Souls. For example, I watched a lot of videos that explain that, and I can tell the difference between what was just Miyazaki and what is Miyazaki and George Martin. I can't
Mm.
really say that there is something specific other than the trees. There are a few things now. I don't really remember them well, but for example, there are a lot more characters, and they all seem to have some sort of relationship between them. Most of them, anyway. And for example, there is one character that I think is very George R. R. Martin. That's General Rodan, because it's a tragic figure, it's a tragic character, but the funny thing is that when you fight him, he's a giant warrior and he's riding a tiny horse that you can tell the horse is suffering from the weight of the character. This is something that's very George R. R. Martin, in my opinion.
Mm.
There are
Fair
things,
enough.
you know, that I can really pinpoint, but a few things made me say, yeah, this feels different than the usual From Software stuff. So yeah, I think it's not like he did anything massive on it, but I think his influence is
Well, yeah,
noticeable.
as far as they've said, they basically wrote the backstory, for the whole
Yeah,
world and the characters. But
that's
then, yeah,
that's what he's good for. Like he's a great world builder. So yeah, it
I'm
makes
just
sense. I
thinking when
think
you
they want
mentioned the
to.
trees, I'm just thinking surely it could have been Tolkien then. The Ents.
Hmm.
He liked trees as well.
Yeah, you know,
I know what
like
you
I
mean.
said,
I
you
know.
can.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really say, but the first thing that came. I mean, the tree could be the Earth tree. It's also for Berserk, the manga, because there is something very similar to that in the manga. A big magical, let's say, magical city that
I mean, you
is
you
built.
you are you are also a big Norse mythology fan, and that is
Yeah,
also
yeah, that there too. Yeah,
I
but
was
you
just
know,
interesting.
thinking of Final Fantasy IX there,
Yeah,
where you go the life tree.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the magic,
it's something. Yeah, it's something that appears often. You know, when you
yeah,
know that George Martin is involved, that's the first thing that.
A big tree.
Yeah, a very big
That's
tree that's shiny at night, day, every time. You see it from everywhere you look. In wherever you are in the world, you just rotate the camera and you can see the tree everywhere.
I think the
uh,
most important thing though, and I don't know if you watched it, but did you see? Was it the Thai advert for Elden Ring that I posted in our little group chat one time?
No, I did not.
Oh, you've missed out. It's like proper great TV. That it's an advert. I didn't even know it was about Elden Ring for the first like 12 hours,
Mm.
like a full series. I'm like, what's happening? This
Well,
is
they're going.
hardcore.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to do that anyway. They said they're going to expand beyond, and they're going to
yeah,
expand the franchise beyond the game. So that's a
Yeah,
yeah.
given, pretty much. Especially if they get George R. R. Martin involved
well, it's
in the
all
show,
money,
because
isn't it?
he's also working television, so that would be. And
Well,
besides, he's looking for every reason not to finish his books, so he would just jump on it,
yeah.
immediately jump on it.
Uh, the thing I wonder though is if they do a TV series, let's say, it would have to have a lot more dialogues than the games,
Yeah,
because
you know,
uh, you know,
a prequel to the game will make sense because I think it's probably the they have most material on that.
I'm just thinking now they can have small amount of dialogue because films can manage it. Like The Road, that didn't have a massive amount of dialogue. It was when it was needed. What was the film with Robert Redford where there's only like 3 words spoken the whole film? That was amazing. That film.
Yeah, I mean, there are, of course, examples of films with very little dialogue, but I don't know if that would go well with a
In a
TV
series,
series.
yeah, it might not be great.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
probably
probably
need
not.
at least three words every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair
Yeah.
though, what I can't remember that film with Robert Redford where he's just a sailor and he's caught in a storm in the sea, and it's like there's only about less than 10 words spoken the whole film.
It's called All Is Lost.
That's it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, I
Absolute
never
brilliant.
got to watch. Yeah.
It's amazing, that film. I recommend it. Well, there's not
Okay.
much to say about Elden Ring. Might as well talk about All
It's
Is
good.
Lost.
It's good that you have to play it. That's all you need to know about.
Yeah, I bought it, and I might play it sometime before 2030.
It's the only thing that I can say now that I completed it once and I've started it again to find everything, that it's maybe a little too big, maybe too big. Because
Well, at
there's
least they're not
you
forcing
can
you to
get
pay for
lost.
fucking experience gains.
Yeah. Well, you can probably finish it. I think I saw someone complete it in half an hour, I think. So you can
Not
be as
that bloody
quick as
big
you
then.
want.
Not that fucking big
Yeah,
then.
like Breath of the
I know.
Wild,
It's
you can
speed
just
running.
complete
I
it.
know.
Yeah. Well, that is extreme, but I think I finished my first playthrough in I think 70 hours,
Yeah,
Mm.
just
and I
do
didn't
that
find
in one
everything. I
session.
started rushing. Towards the end, I started rushing, so there's a lot of things that I did not
Yeah.
find.
Oh well. Yeah. In fact, well, since you've said about that and you've started playing that, so we know that you're playing Elden Ring as well. What else are you playing?
Oh, I'm playing everybody's favorite new meme game, Stranger of
Weirdly.
Paradise. Yeah. What? Sorry. The
You said
meme
everybody's
game.
favourite new game. Everybody's playing that Wordly thing.
Oh, well, no, not really. Yeah. I actually, more than playing Stranger of Paradise, I'm trying to play it because, like we were talking about before, the PC port sucks. It's really non-functional. I have a 3070 and I can't run it decently above 1080p,
Fair enough.
and there is really nothing else to add. Yeah, and the worst thing is that neither Team Ninja nor Square Enix have acknowledged these issues. Hopefully they will. They will this week, but it really needs to be fixed because it really does. People are having crashes. Other people are not even they can't even play it because it boots to a black screen. I can boot the game. I can kind of play it, but then it slows down when there is this bug that when you said that when you go below the target frame rate, everything slows down like slow motion.
Oh, God.
But, the Neo games weren't that bad, right?
I don't know about the first one because I played it on PlayStation 4, but the second one, it wasn't like this. Even at launch, it wasn't perfect at launch. I remember when I reviewed it on PC, it wasn't perfect. It had slowdowns, but nothing like this. And the worst thing is that Neo 2 looked much better than Stranger of Paradise does. And
Yeah,
it ran better. Like we were saying, I think this is the first game I've ever played that you had to turn off anti-aliasing and the game looks better without it.
I
That
think
that
that's
that says everything, really.
Hey, it's not a good look, is it? Not a great look.
No, yeah,
oh, I mean, but the like we were saying before, it not only runs like shit, it also looks like shit,
yeah.
which is
It's
really rare because it usually you have one or the other, not
yeah.
both.
You
To be
get
fair, I've
both
not
here.
looked. I've not seen graphics effects screenshots of Strangers of Paradise.
It's
So.
very, it's very uneven. There are
Does
times
it
when
look
it
worse than
looks
Babylon's
okay.
Fall?
No,
Very good.
Babylon's Fault has the issue that they're using the strange filter to cover up the fact that it's really
Shit.
basic. Yeah, it's really basic. Let's say basic. In Stranger of Paradise, there's also a shit filter like that looks everything green. There's a problem with brightness. There are so many locations that are too dark. You can't even see the enemies unless you lock on them.
Good.
And this
Yeah,
is a shame. This is a shame because the game plays great. It's really, really, really fun, but technically it's a mess.
the thing is, when I asked them in the interview, they couldn't even give me any specifics on the engine. I asked, what engine is this? And they said, basically, we can't
Thomas the
tell.
Tank Engine.
It's they said something like that they had to use a different engine. I mean, one that supported also Xbox because Neo was only for PC and PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, they said they wanted to add DLSS. They have to do a lot more first because DLSS is not going to solve these issues magically.
Oh well.
Yeah,
That's always a good look
Yeah.
then.
It's a shame because it's really fun. When I can play it decently, I'm having tons of fun. But it probably needed more time in the oven at this point because the PlayStation 5 version, I just played the demo, so it's more limited, but it has similar issues.
How about you, Alessio? What are you playing?
well, today I finished Ghostwire Tokyo. So yeah, like I said in the previous podcast, it's really good. I've had a lot of fun, and it's a very interesting game because it lets you explore this Tokyo, but it's a very different Tokyo compared to like what you see in the Yakuza games, of course. It's all spooky, and it's all of course supernatural, and there's also a big focus on exploration, which I'd say is better compared to something like Control.
Okay.
But combat is probably a bit worse. I'd say overall they're about the same quality. They're both great action adventure games with supernatural theme. So I'd say it's really, if you are into the genre and like the setting, it's really something to consider. So hopefully it has enough success, before it also comes to Xbox and Game Pass, because it's one of the two games alongside Deathloop that were basically part of a deal between Bethesda and Sony before Microsoft's purchase. So they are exclusive to PlayStation for a year.
Okay. Well, yeah, console exclusive, yeah. Because I was looking on Steam and it's like, oh, I'm thinking, Ghostwire Tokyo. Am I interested? I can't afford to play. I can't. Well, I can afford it. I just can't. I don't have the time to play it.
Yeah, I mean it's been a really packed couple of months, especially February and March. So, but April is a bit better. So,
Oh, I don't know. You say that, but I'll probably have a look and to see what's coming out in April and be like, oh no, there's about 5 million games that I want to play. I don't even know
so
what's coming out in April.
not that much. I mean, some stuff.
Yeah.
I only know about the Chrono Cross remaster, it's the only thing that interests me in April, anyways.
Yeah.
And it's not really a new game.
Oh.
There's Lego Star Wars. There's the new Lego Star Wars. That's actually going to be good. I remember that when we went to the E3, the last in-person E3, and it looked good. I suppose they have improved it since then, but it already looked good enough.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know then what's coming. Yeah. I have no idea. To be fair, I barely know what's coming out this year. The one game that I was one of the games I was looking forward to, I'm no longer looking forward to. That's Evil Dead, because it's like multiplayer thing. I'd rather have a shooty, a proper Evil Dead game. May. Well, I know 2 Point Campus. That should be okay. That should be good.
Talk to us about your Elix experience, Chris.
I enjoyed Elix. Like, my review's gone up today. It's one of my Sunday reviews of a game that's another game that's coming out later. Dolmen. I imagine that's going to be Euro janky as well. And yeah, I think. Yeah, I like Eurojank. So I've played all the Piranha Bytes games. I've played all Gothic. I've played Arcane. I played Elix. And I just like their style of game. You can tell that they care about the game they're making, and they've got weird, quirky ideas, and they try and shove things in, and it doesn't always work. It never will, but at least they're trying. And to be fair, Piranha Bytes is only a studio of 30-something people, so it's not like an Elder Scrolls game where it's got 100+ people working on it, and they still manage to have just as many, if not more, bugs. So it doesn't look fantastic. It looks it looks better than Babylon's Tower thing, Babylon's Fall. It looks better than that. That isn't difficult though. So
it doesn't take much to look better than that.
No, it's good and it's fun, and that's all I really ask for a game. The world's quite interesting. It follows on from Elix, where certain areas have changed. The old desert area has been made all terraformed into a big lush. Well, I say big lushies. There's a new city on the top of it. New faction that lives underneath a big city. So gathering the different groups of people together to do what needs to be done. I enjoy wandering around these worlds, and they never feel as empty. Where a Ubisoft game will have 1 million collectibles. It were worse in the older Ubisoft titles. I think they've sort of improved on this, but whereas the old Assassin's Creed titles, they'd have 5 million feathers just sat in every fucking bell tower in country. But these don't have all these collectibles. You've got specific collectibles, map pieces, that they link into a certain quest, which benefits you later on, so it's worth that exploration. Yeah, it's not just full of needless content for the sake of it. It all sort of links in together, and it does it well. And yeah, I just enjoy exploring. And you have a jetpack, which once you've upgraded, at the start it's a bit shit, but once you upgrade it, it's fun. And I like fun. That's all I can say. It's Euro junky as fuck. It can be buggy. It definitely is buggy.
Yeah, the combat is horrible. When I previewed
Oh yeah, the combat's shit.
It's horrible. I think it would have been a better game without combat.
How do you do that?
Sorry?
How would you do that?
I don't know.
Come up with we've got an alien invasion. We need to fight off the aliens. But how do we do this without fighting?
Let's
have a DDR dance off.
Yeah, a rapping contest, poetry contest.
Fight with words, like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The
Yeah, the fighting.
Fighting.
That's what. Yeah, well, that's what
the
I was
combat's
thinking.
not. The combat isn't good. I will admit that. I sort of get used to it, and I think, to be fair, because they haven't changed much from their older games, I think because I've played so many games with a similar sort of combat, it doesn't bother me that much anymore. I can admit it's not good combat, but I can live with it. And I'm willing to live with things that aren't great if I'm actually enjoying the rest of the game. Whereas if you had shit combat on a game that isn't that entertaining or interesting, then I'd just be like, why am I still playing this shit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right. I think that's it for today.
I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.